Hey everybody, it's Dalton. This is the second video of basically a two-part. In the last video, I showed you guys how my finesse worms work on like a Ned rig style, drop shot, shaky head. Today, we're going to talk about the 5-inch stick bait. Let's start with the simple one, the one that everybody uses, and that's just simply a weightless stick bait. Now, let me get my spectacles on so I know what I'm doing. And let me get untangled here so I can do it. All right, this one here is a sinking soft plastic. Now the thing about me, for when it comes to a weightless Senko, okay, I want to fish incredibly shallow water. I do not like to throw a weightless bait in deep water. So this is going to be a shallow water technique. And basically this is a sink, right? Just let it sink, let it quiver a little bit. Kind of moving as it goes down. Nice movement, just typical soft stick bait, nothing special. Just the same thing that we deal with all the time in weightless stick baits, okay? But this does have a slower rate of fall because I don't add salt to this bait. I do not want it to fall quickly. Now, the one that I am the most proud of. It's been very difficult for me to find a floating stick bait, a floating Senko. Now, we've Ned rigged for years, okay, and I've used the Yamamoto Senko. I've used a lot of different stick baits, and just haven't been able to find one that floats. Now, granted, I didn't try them all. There's so many of them out there, I couldn't try them all. So what I decided to do was make a soft stick bait in a totally floating plastic, okay, for a Neko rig. And I think this is a really, really cool technique. So let me rig this up real quick and I will show you what I'm talking about. Basically, just like the Ned rig stands up, I've made this Neko rig to kind of do the same thing. See how it just stands there? A complete floating plastic. It will eventually fall because of the weight of the plastic, but notice how long it takes. And when it starts to fall, it falls slowly. And that's what I'm looking for. Again. And I can quiver this thing along, right along the bottom, and that tail is going to remain standing. And that's exactly what I have wanted in a Neko rig on a 5-inch stick bait. There's a lot of worms you can do a Neko rig on, but my favorite has always been a 5-inch stick bait, and I was able to accomplish exactly what I was looking for. Keeping that bait standing so those fish have a better chance of seeing it. I'm really, happy with the plastic bait stuff that I'm using and the way this thing floats. I mean, it is outstanding. Now, one more thing, of course you can drop shot this as well, but let me give you one more thing you can do with these. So, let me get that floating one. Let me get a cheap pair of scissors here. It's not going to cut it well, but I don't really care. I'm just going to set it up. And I'll be right back because I got to set up I got to do a different setup. I'll be right back. All right, so I just cut this floating Senko. I'm going to take my little Ned rig hook and I'm just going to do a quick setup here, because if I run out of Ned rig baits, I can just take this floating Senko and bounce it around and do the same thing. And notice, that tail sticks straight up. That's a little over half of my floating 5-inch stick bait. And look at it just set there. Makes an outstanding Ned rig. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. These are a couple of baits that I'm making. Like I mentioned in the video before, I'm going to be making a swimming worm because I love swimming worms. I'll eventually get into swim baits, just not ready for that right now. Right now, I'm really enjoying making these worms. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Looking forward to seeing some of you on the water. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you next time.